A county in Ohio says it's seeing a surge of kids with pneumonia. Could an outbreak there signal the start of a new wave of illnesses here? Well, here with some answers is Dr. Scott Hadland, Chief of Adolescent and Young Adult Medicine at Mass General for Children. Dr. Hadland, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Just what everybody wants, of course, just in time for the holidays. Dr. Hadland is a good case of pneumonia. I jest, of course, but as you know, this type of pneumonia is linked to a specific type of bacteria. So what can you tell us about that bacteria?
Right, yeah, so we call this Mycoplasma pneumonia because it's caused by a bacteria called Mycoplasma. And it's actually a very common bacteria that's been around. It's not new, so I do want to reassure folks. But it's a little bit different. This time of year when people get pneumonia, which is an infection of the lungs and typically causes fever and cough, usually the most common causes of that are viruses. Viruses like flu or RSV, COVID, viruses that we've talked a lot about on this program in the past. This one's a little bit different. Because it's a bacteria, that means the treatment is a little bit different. It actually is treated by antibiotics, but it actually turns out it's spread in a similar way to many viruses, and that's through little droplets that appear in coughs and sneezes. And as you've highlighted, there have been a rising number of cases in certain pockets throughout the world, including most recently in Ohio here in the United States. But again, I want to reassure viewers, this is a bacterium that we've known about for a long time that's relatively easy to treat and for many people causes a relatively mild illness.
Yep, I caught this at camp as a child.
There you go.
It's called walking pneumonia, right? I remember the rescue squad came to the house,
wow.
Dr. Hadland, because my fever was so high. But what are the symptoms typically?
Right, so that's exactly it. Fever and cough are the most common symptoms that people will get. And, people will often describe it as sort of having a chest cold. The cough is just sort of much, worse than they're used to having in many cases. In younger kids, by the way, it often just causes a cold-like illness that doesn't even sort of seem like a serious pneumonia or a serious illness. But I think what's really key here is that certain people can be at risk of having a more severe illness. So even though we call it a walking pneumonia, it's often quite, mild. Some people who might be older or who might have asthma or other, pre-existing lung disease might be at risk of having more severe illness. So we need to look out for them.
So let's talk about treatment. I heard you mention earlier antibiotics. Is that typically what's involved here since this is bacterial?
That's right. Because it's a bacteria, antibiotics are effective. And in fact, the antibiotic that we most commonly use to treat mycoplasma is one many viewers will have heard of before. It's azithromycin, or people will often call it a Z-Pak, a 5-day course of azithromycin. And it's very effective. I do also want to stress, though, that, again, the vast majority of cases of fever and cough this time of year aren't caused by mycoplasma, aren't caused by bacteria. They're caused by viruses. And so antibiotics like azithromycin aren't going to be needed in the vast majority of these cases, but this stuff can be difficult to navigate. So, go talk to your doctor who can, help you figure out if antibiotics or some other treatment might be appropriate for you, and make sure that you get the care that you need. And then, of course, do the things that work. We've learned this from COVID. Cover up when you're coughing, cough into your sleeve, wash your hands frequently, stay home if you're sick. And just remember, we doctors are here to help.
Right. Seems like all these illnesses have basically the same sheet of symptoms.
Profile, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Dr. Scott Hadland, we appreciate your time. Thanks very much.
Thank you.